Good morning, everybody. And it's no news that the hosts, the champion, sorry, or rather, the hosts have dumped out the champion Senegal from the African Cup of Nations 2023. Good morning once more, and my name is Philip. And with me here is John. John, how are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Um, the drama we saw yesterday in Ivory Coast, was it a surprise?
Well, I would say yes and no because at some point it was a surprise because nobody expected a less fancied Ivory Coast to actually knock out Senegal. But no, in the sense that there was always going to be a reaction from the Ivorians, considering how bad they had it in the group stage. And I think we saw the impact of the new coach. We saw actually he tinkered with the team. Strong starters like KCA found themselves on the bench, and it actually helped the team because by the time they came in and the Senegalese were actually jaded, what we saw, the rest is history. And congrats to my unfancied player Nicolas Pepe. I think for the 20 minutes he was on the pitch, he actually did all far more than what Niakite did in the first half and the first half of the second half that he was on the pitch.
Okay, all of us were expecting a Senegalese whitewash, and it all started in the 3 minutes with a fantastic goal
Habib
from
Diallo.
Diallo. Yes, an unexpected cross. I think Sadio Mane just evaded them and crossed the ball, and what a good take from Diallo. And the match went on and went on. The Ivorians kept themselves into the match. They ensured that they were more tighter, and they keep believing. Not until the 4 minutes to go, you got that penalty. I would say they were a little bit fortunate, but that's how football is. They got the penalty. KSA scored, and you can see that the momentum shifted from the Senegalese to the Ivorians. The Senegalese were just they were just all over the place, to be frank. But this is football; it happens, and they are out as the defending champion. For me, I didn't expect it. If you follow my chat in the WhatsApp group, you discover that I said it's unfair, but that's football. You can have as much as 50 to 60 chances, hold all the possessions in the world, but at the end of the day, if you don't take those chances, then it comes back to bite you. That's just the reality. So I think the Senegalese will learn from that. They've I think this is the first time in how many seasons that they will be knocked out at this stage of the competition. In how many
Yeah,
championships, sorry, they will be knocked out at this stage of the competition. But this is what it is. This is football, and we love the game. That's just it.
sure. And the funny part is, if you remember, I kept saying it that what this tournament has actually given us has been giant killers, and we keep
Yeah.
saying that. I think the only team now that can actually hold his breath, that is actually a big name now in African football that is still remain in this tournament, is the Super Eagles and maybe the Moroccans.
Moroccans, yeah.
Until they play today, we don't know if South Africa will still be upset. We'll be seeing upset after offset after offset after offset. Everybody fancied Equatorial Guinea against Guinea.
Guinea.
Guinea because of the excellent group stage they have. What did we see? They got sent home. Everybody
But that wasn't
fancied.
that wasn't an that wasn't an upset.
Oh
If
no
if
no
you could,
But I remember on the day when Nonso and I were actually going through the match, we kept saying it that we expected Equatorial Guinea to win. Everybody expected them. They were just too free flowing. The Guineans just couldn't score to save their life. But what happened? One goal in the 98th minute, and today we are talking about Equatorial Guinea as a past tense. Same thing. Same thing we've had with a lot of big teams. Cameroon is out, Ghana is out, Algeria is out, Senegal is out. Please, who remains in this tournament? Let's just
Nigeria, us, and the rest. Those are the
that's it.
teams that are left in the tournament.
It's just funny. But be that as it may, that's the fun of African football. I think when people keep saying there's no meaning in African football, this is actually the tournament that has proven it. Because even in the last tournament, at the end, the big boys still played out. We saw Egypt and Senegal getting to the final. And as much as it was, we said you said something at the tournament. You said, "Are we going to see a first time winner?" And the way it's going, I won't be surprised if we do see a first time winner in the tournament.
So when you look at it, okay, Nigeria have won it 3 times. Africa because they've won it before. Who else? Morocco before. Who else again that is in that group that has won it?
So
Um,
South Africa have
uh,
won it before.
South Africa won in 2006.
Nine,
Even DR
that,
Congo has won it before. DR Congo has won it before. So those are the teams that have won it before. The
they
Burkina Babes haven't won it. I don't think the Burkina Babes have won it before. So
haven't. Neither have the
uh,
Malians.
neither the Malians. So maybe the tournament of a new name, hopefully, tournament of minnows, tournament of new name. That's what it is. So
Trust me,
we hope
Tristan
that.
say about that because I'm sure by that he's already polishing, washing his hands every day, very clean in order to lift the trophy. So saying that there's going to be a new winner, Tristan, we have something to say about that.
Hopefully, let's see what will happen. Okay, guys. Let's look at the fixtures for today, and we'll be we are not in a rush actually, but we'll take it free flow for everyone so that everyone gets the flow. Okay, we'll look at the second fixtures. We'll start with the second. Let's look at the fixtures for today. These are the fixtures for today: Mali, Burkina Faso, Morocco, South Africa. I think this is a good lineup. John, what's your take? First of all, let's have your take, then we can go into the match by match breakdown. So Mali versus Burkina Faso. These two teams are rivals from West Africa and neighbors as well. Neighbors, close neighbors. Yeah, and they know themselves when it comes to African football. Both of them have not won the Nations Cup, but both of them have reached the latter stages of the Nations Cup. The other side, the next match that will be played tomorrow, not Sunday, please. I think there's a typography there, but tomorrow will be Morocco. The Atlas Lion of Morocco won it in when they won in 1972. I think about 1970, between 1972 and 1974, and South Africa that won it in 1996, courtesy of the likes of Benny McCarthy and Mark Fish.
Lucas,
And the host of others. Yes. So these teams will be playing today, and what a lineup we have here. Okay, I think we'll start with Morocco, South Africa, then we'll come back to Burkina Faso, Mali, Burkina Faso. South Africa. And if you have a South African fan here, a fan watching us from anywhere, please kindly tell us what you think. If you want us to share you a link and you make comments, and then we can say. But South Africa, people were saying they were really optimistic coming into this tournament. Yes, every team will be optimistic coming into this tournament. But if you look at the South African side, I'm highly made up of players that applied in Africa, especially the South African League. Do you think this South African side has what it takes to take on this Moroccan side in this match, 1-for-1 and team for team?
actually, it all depends on which South African side actually turns up today. You see, the South African side are just been a hit and miss so far in this tournament. The experiment of Hugo Boss has actually not really brought out what he might have expected coming into the tournament. He employed the North African strategy of actually just going into the domestic league and picking players that know themselves. But what we've been able to see so far, that has only blossomed in the match against Namibia, where they actually just pummeled and just totally flogged the Namibians. But otherwise, this team has been finding it difficult to score goals. And actually, that is not really the team you want to go into the quarterfinals, or you want to play against a Moroccan team. Moroccan team that has actually gone ahead in the first half in all their matches so far. But what does this South African give you? The South African team give you? They give you grit. Okay, yes, they weren't able to. They weren't after the first match. They've not conceded, so that actually still speaks for them. They have a very solid defense. They conceded 2 against the Malians, against the Namibians. They were able to keep 4 in their last match. They kept a clean sheet. So what exactly, or which kind of team is going to turn up today for the South Africans is actually what everybody will be hoping for. They'll be hoping for that solidity in defense. We know that the Moroccans can concede. They conceded in their last match against and in their second match against an unfancied Zambian team that actually put them under a little bit of pressure. They have a very good, solid defense. But if this South African team can actually keep it tight, we saw yesterday all the Ivorians did was as soon as they conceded, and they played themselves into the match, and at the end they got the result. So let's just see if that can also likely play out for the South Africans today. But I don't really know which South African team will turn up, because as it is now, there are two shades of them: the shade that can actually concede, the shade that can actually keep clean sheets, and the shade that can actually not score. So against a team that we know that they are not the most highest scoring side as well, so why not just go close shop and perhaps hope for something in the latter stages of the match?
Okay, when you look at the South African side, I see a team. If I look at them as a team, I think I just okay. Look at the South African side. They just have let me see okay. If you look at them, the beats. I think the only win they had was against Namibia 4-0. Their neighbors Namibia 4-0.
Yes.
Over Namibia, they were outscored in their first match, being dropped in their first match, and they managed to hold their own with a draw in their last match, which gave them the qualification. I see this South African side as a team that you don't really know, as you see, what team will turn up because of the caliber of players that they have and where those players are coming from. Majority of the players, like I said, are playing in South Africa. And I keep on saying this, whether it is Nigeria, whether it is Ghana, whether it is Morocco, you need a mix of the two. But the top South African players don't like going out. And that is the problem South African have and South African football has. They don't like going out. Even when they go out, they go there, they spend one season, they come back home. They go out there, they spend 2 seasons, they come back home. Because the league is good, yes, the league pays well, yes, but
the competition.
The league is not technically sound. And I will say this to any South African fan, the South African league is not technically sound. That is just it. So that is why
I think the issue has not actually been the players. It has been the push. You see, when Benny went out, and Benny was able to accomplish what he accomplished before in 2003.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of then in 2004. He also joined them in winning the Champions League. There was a shift.
Yes.
So a lot of South African players wanted to move. We saw the Makwena. They wanted to move. They moved.
Lucas Radebe even moved to Leeds. Okay, Lucas Radebe also moved to Leeds when Benny moved as well.
They moved out of the league, but the thing is that that's something that actually pushes them to want to go. Why do I say this? If we look at it now, their biggest star in the team, even at our present, is Percy Tau. Percy Tau went out to Brighton. From Brighton, he couldn't hold his stead. He was loaned out to Belgium. Now he's back fully playing back in Africa in Al Ahly. So what do you see? Okay, now there was a player they were all putting their hopes on in Foster, who plays in Burnley. He refused turning up for the tournament. But so that is why it is. If you have a South African player now go out and make strides, that will push the rest to actually want to do it. We saw it. We saw the same thing with Egypt in the latter stages of the 2000s, 2006, 2008, 2010. Abutreka was holding African football by the neck, but he just refused to leave Al Ahly. Everybody kept pushing. This midfielder is actually good enough to actually play in Europe, but for what it was worth, he didn't want to make the move, and it also stifled others. You see, that's why they keep saying sometimes you do some things not just because of you, but for the growth of the game in your country. Had it been at that point now, Abutreka actually left the Egyptian league, went into Europe, maybe had a very good stint, won the league with one or two with a club. Next thing you will see other Egyptian players wanting to follow in that thread. They will all go out. But what did we see? As big as he was, he kept on remaining. He remained in Egypt, played almost all his football in the Egyptian league. Whereas this was a player who actually bamboozled the Brazilian national team in the Confederations Cup in 2007. So so all in 2009, sorry. So all you keep wanting is you want your team to actually progress. And that is what has been holding back the South African national team. Today now we see a team that has been the Hugo Boss has picked entirely of players from Mamelodi Sundowns and just a few sprinkle from the other teams, from Pirates. But what do we see? The starters are mostly Mamelodi Sundown players, but they've not been able to put up the best things. They might be holding Africa, playing everybody out in club football. They just won the African Football League. But it is a different kettle of fish when the big boys from Europe come around and actually play their football. You will know that there's a little difference in what you do, in the amount of technicality they have and what you have. I remember when Nigeria then we are inviting big clubs to come to Nigeria and play friendly, and a team actually played the Yimba. And when they asked the defender, what were you doing when that defense striker ran past you? He said, I could see the striker, but at the moment he ran past me, it was as if a train ran past me. This is the difference in technicality, in fitness levels you get over there in Europe and also in the African League. So that has the South African football so far.
Okay, when we let's look at team news from South African point of view. For South Africa, I think the Bafana see her fears over Kolusa Munda's fitness after he was forced out of the first half against Tunisia with an ankle injury. However, I guess he has progressed with his recovery. Hopefully, I think he will have some game time in this match. Also, the Bafana Bafana coach Hugo Bros also is optimistic that Mutambia Vala will be available for the match as well. He also got a direct kick in the same match as well against Tunisia. So hopefully, let's see what will happen at the end of the day for the Bafana Bafana, as they are called. Let's see how they will shape up. I think they definitely come up with a formation that will suit them. That's what I think. Though they don't have the calibers of players like Nigeria have, like the Ivorians have, to defensively stand a team, but I think they will have to come like you say, they have to play in the South African way, the way they used to play. I think that will really help them. Looking at Morocco as a team, the first match, you see how they went on doing their business, dismantled Namibia in the first match. They couldn't hold their own against the they dismantled not Namibia, they dismantled Tanzania in the first match by 3-0. Then drew against the Chief Polo of Zambia. I think that should be understandable. Whether it is an average Zambia team, it is understandable, but they drew against the Chief Polo 1-1, and they ended up beating the team. The last thing they beat by a lone goal. But I just think that the Zambia. Okay, I think they beat Zambia 1-0. That's what they did. They beat Zambia 1-0. Yes, they beat Zambia 1-0. Beat Zambia 1-0 in their last match. Not they didn't draw against Zambia. I think the team they drew against. I'll put that one up. But let's look at the Moroccan team as one of now. I think the favorite were the favorite to win this tournament was Senegal. Now they are out, followed by Morocco, that finished let's say fourth in the last World Cup, and they are ranked one of the highest, if not the highest team in Africa, FIFA ranking. Let's look at this side. A side that is made up of Hakim Ziyech, Yassine Bono in goal, Ashraf Hakimi. You have what's his name, Onahi. You have this guy that played for Manchester United, Amrabat, in the midfield. You have a whole lot of other players in that team. Do you think that this Moroccan side, if peradventure they win this match today, if they win the match, I'm not saying they will win the match, can go all the way to the final?
Well, if I say that they can go all the way to the final, definitely I'm saying that the Super Eagles won't make it to the final because they're able to beat of the draw. If they win this match after their quarterfinal match, if they also succeed, they will likely meet the Super Eagles if they also get there at the semi-final stage. So, but I see this Moroccan team as we saw it at the World Cup. They are very good at keeping clean sheets, and so far in this tournament, they've been able to do that in 2 of their matches. Yes, NS3 has not popped up with what we know NS3 can pop up with. Because I know at a point it will start getting those headers in. I keep saying that it's like Olivier Giroud. They should be wearing their boots on their head because they score more with their head than their feet.
Good.
But be that as it may, it's all about what comes up in this team and actually doing what you know works for you. They are playing. They are behind them is the best keeper in Africa without any doubt, Yasin Bono, who practically can catch a fly if he tries to fly into his net. But all they just have to do keep it clean, keep it good. But I don't see them winning because I keep saying it. Once they come up, we saw it against in the match they drew 1-1. Once they come up against it, actually can run them ragged, which is what we have seen Nigeria do so many teams so far in this tournament.
That was against DR Congo. Sorry, pardon me. That was against DR Congo. Yeah.
You can get people that can run them ragged, that can play the African way. They find it very difficult. We know how much Amrabat struggles in physicality. We know how much the only player that actually excels when it comes to physical football is we know NS3 Onawi. They like it being tough. Even Akim Ziyech that we speak about so much, he also doesn't like football, doesn't get physical. They like playing their football in space, playing with a lot of finesse. So if they should go ahead until they're actually able to pass. If the Eagles also get there, or perhaps they pray someone knocks the Eagles out for them before then. But I don't see this team actually overpowering the Super Eagles if they actually go that.
So, but you see them beating South Africa in this match based on what they have for player to player, man for man.
Definitely, I expect a narrow victory for them.
Okay, a narrow victory for them. Okay, when we look at their team, let's look at their team news before we go to the odds. Before we go look at the odds in this match. Okay, I think Hakim Ziyech is in doubt for the Moroccan side because he also picked up an ankle injury against the Zambia when they played in their last match. I think the winger will sit on the bench. Was seen sitting on the bench with an ice pack on his ankle. Well, hopefully, let's see what will happen. Whether he has recovered from this match, if he will be available for selection. The likes of Sofo Bufa has also been ruled out for the rest of the tournament after picking up an injury during training. So these are two good players they will be missing in this tournament. We know the tenacity of Sofiane Buffal and how he hustled around as we watch him in the Premier League for West Ham. Do you think that these two players will be missed?
Definitely. Soufiane Boufal brings to the Moroccan team what Jelsin Dala brings to the Angolan national team. He is always about. You can never pinpoint where Soufiane Boufal is at every point in the tournament. Now he's on the left. The next time he's dancing around with midfielders in the middle. That actually takes attention away from other players who actually cause damage. But be that as it may, they just have to be clinical. I keep saying this. They have to be clinical because if there's anything this South African team have going for them, is that very strong and very physical defense. They have to be clinical. This is not a team they will go about and expect that they'll be hoping on second balls or hoping on finesse to get them by. You have to go physical. I'm expecting a proper African football. We saw the football of technicality yesterday in the match between Ivory Coast and Senegal. Football, in fact, that was the best for me, the best match so far in this tournament. Hardly you see a ball kicked into the air. It was always played on the ground. Midfielders got involved. The ball was very fine in the air, for fine to see. So that's what I'll be expecting the Moroccans not to try to do actually, because if they do that, they are not going to get anything off the South Africans. Go at them, try and be physical, use the strength and then the jump of El Nesri, look for second balls, and you might get something away from this defense.
Okay, going to the odds for this match, we looked at the odds. I think the odds don't really favor South Africa. Yes, definitely it won't favor them. But looking at their head-to-head before we go into the final odds, let's see head-to-head. I think these two teams have met in the group stage for qualification for this tournament. If you look at the overall meeting is 9. Morocco has won 3, South Africa 3, and they've drawn 3 times as well. So I think it's much more even. Match odds, John. If you look at the match odds for Morocco to qualify to the next round of this tournament, to the quarterfinal, or to win this match, is 1:4. That means for every they have 0.004 chances to beat South Africa, which is very, very high for them. And for South Africa, it's 11-4. That means for every 4 times they meet, for every 4 times, 11 times they meet, they will always pick up at least 2 win, 2, maybe 1, okay, 2 win or 2.5 win. So I think the odds against South Africa to win this, just as the odds were against Ivory Coast to win in this match. So the odds are also against South Africa.
I think the tournament of the underdogs.
Exactly. So you have to put your money where your mouth is, hopefully, and let's see what's for those that are betting. But as it is now in this match, the odds is against South Africa. But let's see what will happen at the end of the day. Let's see how everything is gonna pan out. Okay, guys. We'll take a short break. For those that are watching us, kindly subscribe to Fancy Football. Kindly hit the notification bell, and please always do like, make comments on our videos, and you help us grow the channel. Okay, welcome back to Fancy Football Afcon live coverage. We've been doing this for let's say for 2 weeks now, close to 2 weeks now, and everything has been going pretty smoothly. We've brought you group by group, match by match. The only thing that we didn't do in this Afcon, like the last Afcon, was maybe we might do it in the final. We'll bring you not a looking ahead, a one-on-one live coverage of each kick of the ball, hopefully in the final. But that's what we were unable to do this year and this time around. But hopefully, we will look at how to improve. And also, we'll be having more shows coming to Fancy Football. We'll have our transfer updates every day. That will start immediately after the AFCON. We'll also have odds as well. We'll look at how we can bring in weekly odds for the top 6 European teams. Just odds, and also we'll look at how we can also have discussions for the top European teams on Friday and on Monday as well. Just like you have the Monday Night Football, we'll also look at how we can bring our own Monday Night Football, or maybe Monday Football, to Fancy Football. I think it's an exciting moment for the channel, and hopefully we will get there gradually. Okay, John, we will move to the next match of the day for today, which we see 2 West African side, 2 powerhouse. I'll call them powerhouse as well, but though none of them have won the AFCON before. They've all fell short along the way. The Burkina Faso fell short in 2013. The Malians, I think, fell short in what year? That was what year? I think I'll pull that up for us. But they are still powerhouse of African football. They are very strong side, both of them. And like we all know, West African side are known for their physicality and technicality when it comes to football. I think they are known for that physicality and technicality, unlike the North African side that are known for the technicality but no physicality. And the West African side are always in and out in that area. They have those two things going on for them. When you look at this matchup, how do you think that this will pan out? Maybe in the first 10 minutes or in the first 15 minutes of the match?
No, I don't think it will actually have anything serious to do in the first 10 minutes, because I'm looking at a match. I'm looking at a match where the midfield will actually decide. The Malians have an excellent midfield in this tournament. We've seen Bissouma just run the show practically in most of their matches, and I expect that to still continue today. We know the Burkina Babes. In fact, I don't know whoever told the coach to actually remove Tapsoba from defense and he brought him into midfield. and the guy has been a revelation in the tournament in midfield. Sincerely,
Yeah.
when I watched the against Algeria, I was very, very impressed. He was a dazzle to behold. He just kept spraying the passes all around the field. I keep on now I see why Manchester United was all over him at the time. The guy is a real gem playing in that position. I think that will be one of the midfield battles, one of the key battles to watch out in this match. The fight between Tapsoba and Yus Bissouma. Bissouma, you don't have much to say about him. He's the live wire of that sports midfield. In fact, he's as somebody will say, he's Potestoglu's general in the army, because he just keeps everything. But in this tournament, he has been awesome. In this tournament, we've seen the best of Tapsoba. Now, where the strength will lie is now in the
Yeah.
attack. This Burkina Faso team actually has scored in 17 consecutive Afcon matches before they had a blank slate in their last match. That was the first time in 18 matches that they've not scored. But if you look at this Malian team, what they are good at is just keeping clean sheets. So it's just as if the movable force, the unstoppable force meeting the movable object. A team that doesn't concede against a team that actually knows how to go about scoring goals. Let's see what turns up. But what I'm looking at today, I'm seeing a score draw in today's match, because the Malians have also shown a very good account of themselves. So I'm looking at a score draw from today's match.
A score draw from today's match. Are you sure we're gonna get a score draw? Okay, we all
Yes,
know the
yes, that's
kickoff for this match is five. It's 5 p.m. local time on the 5 p.m. 6 p.m. Nigerian time as well. So when we look at matchup, let's look at the team news first of all before we go into predictions on the matchup. Okay, well, we look at team news. I think the Malians are. I think they are all fit. They don't have consign. With Mbosuma, Mbosuma was rested against Namibia, so I think that will do well for him. For the Malians, and Lassina Sionko will once again be the key man up front, having scored 2 goals for the Malians in this tournament so far. For the Burkina Faso, the likes of Mohamed Konate and Ibrahim Traore are all available after missing out in the final group stage due to suspension. So I think each team have their players. Also, Jibrin, what's that his name? Otara. Yes, Otara is likely to be okay. He's likely to be out for the sideline, having been replaced in the first half against Angola after failing to impress. he failed to impress. To lead the line for the Burkina Faso. So, but that is what it is for these two sides. I think for the two sides, no serious injury. I think no serious injury. There are no injuries for the two sides. It's just maybe lack of effort from these players. But hopefully, let's see what will happen at the end of the day. John, when you look at you've already made your predictions actually, but I hope your predictions go a long way to hold waters at the end of the day, because the bookmakers apart from you are also predicting a win for the Burkina Babes. They are predicting a win for the Burkina Babes today. So, but let's see how it will pan out in terms of head to head. 9 meetings. The Malians have the upper hand.
They are yet to lose to Burkina Faso actually.
They only lost once to the Burkina Babes actually. They only lost once to the Burkina Babes. In 9 meetings, they've lost one. That is why we say they are powerhouse of African football, both of them. So in 9 meetings, 8 wins to Burkina. 10 meetings. Sorry, 8 wins to Burkina Faso. No, 8 wins to Mali. 1 win to Burkina Faso. That's outstanding. And 1 draw. And still, the Burkina Faso are the favorites in this match. I don't know how comes.
That is where they keep getting it wrong. And that's why they keep getting it wrong. And that's why I keep saying it. That no matter how it is, just don't watch out. It's going to likely be a draw.
Okay, you said a draw. Oh, let's say a draw and a shootout, hopefully. But I'm seeing a 1-0 match, but I can't tell you which side will pick it up. But the side that score first will win that match. That's just it.
Okay.
Absolutely spot on. The side that scored first to win that match.
Don't be so
If
sure.
no,
You
that's
might
just it.
Ivory Coast match.
Yeah, Ivory Coast match is one of we knew that it was one of at the end of the day, but the side that scored first should win the match. That's how I think it should go. But this is football; anything can happen at the end of the day, and we hope that the best team at the end of the day, or the team that comes to play, and in a match, any team that comes to play is the best team, whether you like it or not. So
Sure.
take it or leave it.
Sure.
Okay, predictions. Let's look at the bookmakers and what are they saying? The bookmakers are the bookmakers are in favor of Burkina Faso 5-4. It's 5-4 to win, and Mali 4-7. That is in the ratio of 0.6 to win that match. So for those that are betting, they should go and look at. They should bet for a Burkina Faso win, except if you have the mind to bet on the other way around. So hopefully, it will
Yeah.
be a win for Burkina Faso, according to the bookmakers, not according to me. I can hear you, Big
Trust,
John.
trust John. Leave Philip and the bookmakers alone. It's a draw.
Okay, finally, what's just summarize the matches for today, and let's see uh, what where we how it will pan out. Just summarize in 1 minute, please.
All right. For the first match between Mali and Burkina Faso, I think we're going to have a draw. As I said earlier, maybe a nil-nil draw or a 1-1 draw. I'm very sure. I'm very, very sure of that. Then for the match between South Africa and Morocco, maybe a narrow win
Yeah.
for Morocco. A narrow win for Morocco. Maybe 1-0. Shouldn't be more.
Okay, John. Before we go, I have this bonus question for you. What is wrong with young English black players, especially English black players? We saw what happened, and particularly with one club in England. I always like asking questions like this. Particularly with one club with in England, Manchester United. We saw what happened to Sancho. I think that was. I think he has gone to Borussia Dortmund on loan after the club spent a whole of 71 to 100 million pounds to sign him.
On him.
We also saw what happened recently with Marcus Rashford, and this is going on and on and on. He's the highest paid player in Manchester United, and this is going on and on and on with British players that are playing for United. What is going wrong or on with these players? Some people will say, like I watch, I think I saw from one other YouTube channel that I won't mention names here, that people hate Marcus Rashford. People
No,
hate, but to be frank, what is wrong with these players? These are bonus segment, please, guys.
all right. I don't think this is actually people hating the player in question. It's two things. All of this, if you notice, all of this started rearing their ugly heads ever since Ten Hag took charge. Rashford has been in that team going to the better part of a decade. I think 2 years from now, you make it 10 years that he has been in Manchester United senior setup. And up
Yeah,
till when Ten Hag came into that team, he never had any disciplinary issue. Sancho, before he came into United, has never had such issues. So there must be something fundamentally wrong with the way I believe Ten Hag actually handles his issue. If you
no,
notice, Sancho made
Sancho had an issue. Sancho had an issue with Borussia Dortmund, but it was covered. I think Borussia Dortmund are already telling us the truth about what happened to Sancho.
about how the issue, the way Ten Hag is actually running the team. Now, if you hear when Sancho made the statement, he said, "I have been a scapegoat for a while," and that is just the thing there. There is something lingering in between that team. I think all of this problem actually started from when Ole was there. Not just Ole, really. When Ed Woodward was the team, there was this preference from Ed Woodward towards British players, and all of them feel so entitled. Now that he's not there, Ten Hag is trying to stamp his feet on the ground, and all of them, they are not having it. They are just believing that he's just being stern on them. You saw how United was in the pre-Ten Hag era. All of these players just felt it is their right to play in the Manchester United. You saw players like what's his name now? Phil Jones. He believed he was above water for United. So many players just felt as long as this is our team, this is our team, and it's totally ran the club to the ground. Now that someone else has come and is trying to put his foot on the ground, everybody is not taking it, and that I believe is where the problem is coming from. It actually has nothing to do with the players, it has nothing to do with the fans. It's just the way that it has been run, and someone is trying to change it. And these are the people who are actually collecting the big bucks. But all it is what? Just imagine a Anthony Martial saying he's not going to leave until he runs down his contract because he knows he can't even get half of what is being paid at Man United anywhere else in the world. So that is the problem. But I believe come the end of the season, when some of these players actually run out their contract and they leave, we will see the resemblance of a team that we might be proud of in the future.
Okay, we hope so. We hope so. But my why I'm bringing up this discussion is I don't know what is really wrong with, but we see the likes of Saka being being humble and playing his football, playing his football. You don't hear one or two things about him. A lot of young British players out there, you don't hear much more about them. But we keep on seeing these ugly eyes, especially black English players that plays for Manchester United. I think that's just sad. Okay, thank you so much, John. It's nice having you on the show today, and we hope that everything pan out at the end of today, at the end of the business end of the round of 16. We have the quarterfinalists, and we move on from there. And we keep on bringing you live coverage as we keep on moving. Thank you so much once again for those that are watching us live on YouTube. Please kindly subscribe to Fancy Football. Kindly hit the notification bell and try to engage us as well. And we'll find the time to always answer you quickly and read your comments live as well. So once again, thank you, John. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.